What is up, everybody? This is Lyle, No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Still coming at you from colorful Colorado. Gonna be out here till about the 14th of December, but I wanted to answer a question that I keep seeing pop up in the Facebook groups, and I don't think enough information is being given when asking this question. And this question is, should I go lease straight out of TNT? Now, that's pretty much how the questions are asked, and that's not enough information to give somebody to give you a real good opinion, because you're just dealing with a bunch of hypotheticals. So if you're going to ask that question, add a little bit more to it. You know, if you were to say, should I go lease directly out of TNT? I got X amount of dollars in the bank. You know, I don't really have that many liabilities, or I have some liabilities. Even maybe, you know, your past business experience or something like that, because it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. You know, if somebody came to me and said, Lyle, and they have, I'm retired from the Navy, I got a pension coming in, my wife is working, we got some money set aside, you know, do you think it would be, you know, going lease would be a route that I should go? And in that situation, I might say, yeah, a lease would be perfect for you, because you're not solely dependent on money coming in from trucking. If something goes wrong with your truck, you got some money to fall back on. You know, those are all the situations. Now, if you came to me and said, Lyle, should I go lease straight out of TNT? I don't have any money saved up whatsoever. I got a car payment, I'm maybe paying some rent, or whatever that situation is, maybe not. Or even, you know, throw in, you know, how you feel your skills are. You know, if you're still struggling backing and things like that, maybe, I mean, you will learn, trust me. One thing about the trucking industry is you will learn. I mean, this is not a complicated job. It's just how long is that learning curve going to be, and how much stuff are you going to tear up along the way. So the difference between learning as a company driver and learning as a lease driver is you will get hit with those deductibles as a lease driver, whereas a company driver, you're basically going to rely on the company to kind of bail you out of any issues that you get into. So it's not, like I said, it's not a one-size-fits-all type of situation. Another thing to consider, well, the main thing that I didn't consider when I was making up my mind to go lease was not the money. You know, when I first came to Prime, my intentions, as a matter of fact, when I first came to Prime in orientation, I think they might have asked who plans on going lease or who plans on going company or something like that. I think I said company right off the bat. You know, I didn't know a whole bunch about the time off situation. As soon as, you know, I kind of got wind of what the time off situation was, that took company completely out of the mix. You know what I'm saying? So those are the reasons why I went lease. Flexibility, time off, things like that. So I'm going to implore you to find reasons other than money to go lease, because, you know, for those of you guys who have been rocking with me for a while, you know, when I first came out, within my first month, well, you know, within the first, I don't remember exactly what the time frame was on this, but pretty soon after I came out, a deer hit me. Boom, $1,000 deductible. Now, it hit me on the side, it didn't hit me on the front, so if you have a deer guard and you get hit by a deer, then I think the insurance company picks that up, but that's not where it hit me. $1,000. Boom. Turn around, you know, a little bit after that, rolling through St. Louis, a car comes off an on-ramp, out of control, boom, hits the side of my truck, tears up my truck, dents my fuel tank, all that kind of stuff. Boom, $1,000 deductible. Now you're going to say, well, Lyle, wouldn't their insurance handle that? Well, yeah, if they had insurance. These guys didn't have insurance, so I got hit with the $1,000 deductible, and I got hit with the downtime of about a week when my truck was getting repaired. Are you going to be able to withstand all that? And then kind of right around the same time, I'll take this one as my fault. But I got a trailer that didn't have a chain on it, and I was in a situation where I had to kind of, well, let me preface this first by saying this was a dropping hook, so I did not know that what the situation was with the trailer till I was ready to back up. And it was a pretty busy backing situation, so I felt pressured, and I don't feel pressured like that anymore, but I felt pressured to hurry up and back in. Well, no chains on the trailer. I thought, you know what, let me just get some of this duct tape. Let me tape the door to the side of the truck. That should hold long enough for me to back in. Well, that didn't turn out to be the case. You know, when I'm backing up and it's dark out there, my door kind of opened up. There's a railing next to it, and it peeled off some of the plastic on the inside of that door. Boom, trailer, $500 deductible. So, you know, these are things that can happen. These are things to kind of consider, not just should I go lease because of the money after training. It should be more than the money. And if you don't have the money, there's nothing wrong with going company right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? I know plenty of people. I don't know if my girl Crystal's watching this video, but when she first came out of training, you know, she'll be the first one to tell you she was going through it. She tore up a bunch of stuff. If that would have been some leases, or if she would have been on a lease, definitely would have been hard kind of digging out of that predicament that she got herself into. So it's a little bit deeper than that. If you're going to be in these Facebook groups asking these questions, first of all, understand that you're going to be getting some negativity or some sarcastic answers, you know, to some of these questions you may have, first of all, and you're not giving enough information. So if you're going to be asking that question, give a little bit more for people to kind of grab onto and lead you in the right direction. That's about it. You know, a lot of people in this business want to run before they crawl. You know what I mean? And you know, if you have the financial stamina or whatever to withstand anything like, you know, with anything that may come up, then that may not be a problem. But if you don't, consider going company before you go lease. Stack up your money. And I'd say, you know, I'm always more conservative with other people. You can do this with no money in the bank. I mean, there's plenty of people that are leasing at Prime that are successful, that came straight out of TNT with no money, and 2-3 years down the line, now they got, you know, all kinds of money, and they made it through. You know, so I like to look at things a little bit more conservative. So if I was to give my opinion on it, I would say at least have, you know, $5,000 you could touch in case things get hard. And then, you know, that should be, I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough to kind of help you weather some storms. You know, I've been seeing a lot of people going through some issues lately. You know, my man, Henry, Big H Trucking, his truck was just down almost like 3 weeks or something like that. And you're going to say, well, dang, that was a Peterbilt. Well, you know what? I'm looking at a bunch of other people that drive Freightliners, and their trucks are down too. So don't get this false sense of security that the type of truck that you get is going to keep you from having any breakdowns or anything like that that pops up. So just want to jump in with that because I've seen this question asked about literally probably 4 times in the last week, if not more than that. And if the question's always going to be phrased the same, you could always go back and search that question and see what people have answered on that particular question, unless you give a little bit more information. Enough about that. About to come in here. Got my son preparing me for a video on my cooking channel, No Hippie Barbecue and Cooking. I'll be doing some braised beef short ribs. I'm going to get real hippie. Braised beef short ribs with a paired with a parsnip mash. Should be delicious. I'll be starting that here in just a little bit. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.